Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Two Base here, and the video I have for you today is about kind of climbing in Elo, climbing in gold, specifically, because I'm in gold right now, and I'm about to be gold 3, and honestly, I was having the toughest time. I was having literally no luck being able to climb out of gold 5. I was stuck at 0 LP, gold 5. I couldn't win. I would win one game, lose a game, and I could not win more than one game at a time. And I talked to a friend of mine who climbed from silver 5 to gold 1 now, so he's almost plat. But I talked to him, and he told me that he did it by playing tanks, because tanks are really relevant right now with the Sunfire and the Iceborne Gauntlet combo in top lane and in jungle. But I told him, I was like, that there's no way that two items can literally just carry games. And he's like, do it, dude. And I was like, I didn't believe him, so I just kept on playing. My thing was, I would play assassin jugglers like Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, Rengar, mostly Rengar, but and what I kept finding was I was getting fed, but there was no tanks on our team, so we would just lose. It was just a matter of time before we lost. We would just stomp early game, and then if we didn't end the game by 20 minutes, then the game was done. So what I started doing was I just randomly, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I just queued up for a ranked game, a jungle mid, and I got jungle, and then I picked Udyr, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna build him tank. I'm gonna build him full fucking tank, and then see where it takes me. I was 10-2 at the end of the game, and we won. And we won with flying fucking colors, and I couldn't die. I had Cinderhulk, Iceborne Gauntlet, Merc Treads with Captain enchantment, because then my teammate could follow up, or my teammates could follow up. Then I took, what else did I take? So yeah, Cinderhulk, Iceborne, Merc Treads with Captain Boots. I had a Thorn Mail, a Banshee's Veil, and just miscellaneous stuff. Dead Man's Plate. So that was what I had on Udyr, and it worked for me. And I climbed. I'm almost in my gold 3 promos. I'm at 70 LP, and this was in 2 days just from playing tanks. I played Scion one game and I went 6-3 and I won the game. Now I only lost a few games, and I played mostly Udyr. Now my Udyr is level 4. It was level 2.5. Now my Udyr is almost level 4 on Champion Mastery, and climbing through this Elo, it's going pretty smoothly. So I think I'm gonna reach plat soon. So that's obviously pretty awesome. But I just wanted to give a few tips to gold junglers and probably silver junglers that are looking to climb an Elo, other than just playing tanks and playing and just going Iceborne Gauntlet, Sunfire Cape, or Cinderhulk, and then just completely hard carrying the game. Now, you can obviously do that, and you can do whatever, but, these are just a few tips that I've learned through playing and, winning and losing and, seeing what works, what doesn't. And with Udyr, it was pretty easy. I just went Phoenix stance, Bear stance, Turtle stance, and then didn't max Tiger, because Tiger was kind of useless. But, anyways, the things that I found the most useful was, A, going bot lane and trying to snowball them. And there's a video on YouTube, I don't know exactly what it's called, but there's a clear that you can do that you can get level 6, but at 6 minutes and 6 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. In between 6 minutes and 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and you'll be level 6. And the enemy jungle will usually be level 4, okay? So it's kind of it's a little bit weird. So what you would have to do is, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you would have to take the small little camps first, then back, then buy some stuff, take the small camps and the buffs back, buy some stuff, and then take one more small camp, and then you're level 6. So there's a whole route to it, and there's a whole in-depth analysis behind it, and I watched it, and it really helped. And you would only do it for champs who are level 6 is really strong. Rengar is level 6, he goes invisible and can pounce. That's a really strong level 6. So that would be an example of who you would do it on. But if you're gonna stick to tanks Gragas, Scion, Udyr, who's another good tank jungler? Anyone you can obviously build tank, Echo. You're gonna want to start trying to snowball your bot lane really hard. Mid lane, it's I mean, mid lane, I don't really help all that much. That's just from my experience because my mid laners, they can usually hold their own. If they die once, that's fine. But if I see the only time I'll go mid is if they're like pushed up into the tower with no flash. Like, and then I'll fucking go mid and, you know, flash slap them really quick and stun them and then we'll get the kill. But mainly focus on your bot lane because if you can get your bot lane rolling, they'll roam. Most gold players and even some silver players will usually roam like right as they're like, right as they're just fucking stomping their lane. So snowball your bot lane is a really good thing you want to do. Another good thing that I learned throughout it is Herald is a really big thing for your top laner. Herald is super good. Honestly, it's a really underrated thing, and if you take it and you give it to your top laner, or if you even take it for yourself and like use it to push a lane, I mean, it's really good. It's a really huge buff, and if you can give it to the top laner, it usually will get them snowballing. Now, that's just normally. Sometimes they'll die with it if they get ganked or whatever, but for the most part is, give them the Doom's Eve, I think is what it's called. But yeah, give them the Herald buff. It's really good. And number 3 was a really big thing on my part was taking Scuttle Crabs alive. A lot of people really don't understand like the importance of Scuttle Crab, and they think that it's kind of like a useless kind of thing. Or I mean, it's not really useless, but the speed up can really come in handy. Like if you're getting chased or something, and you have that thing, and the speed up like can get you out of there, is that thing has saved me. I can't even explain to you how many times Scuttle Crab has saved me just from like running through it and getting the movement speed, or even running through it and like seeing that there's people chasing me and whatever. But it's really good. It's a nice ward. If you see somebody coming through river, if they just walk right through it, if they're fucking terrible, but whatever. And so Scuttle Crabs is a huge, huge, huge thing that you need to like not fight over, but if you see it and it's open, it's like there for the taking, take it. I mean, it's gonna take you 30 seconds, and that's not that long of a time. And fourth thing is dragon control is not as important as everyone thinks it is. Now, dragons are definitely important, and 5 dragons can literally is better than a Baron buff. But if you need to give up a dragon to save your team some deaths, that's so much better than taking the dragon, because honestly, first dragon is a good buff, second dragon is an buff, third dragon is a buff, fourth dragon is pretty useless, and then fifth dragon is where it gets scary. So if they're fighting for fourth dragon, honestly, I mean, if you have like a clear chance to fight, like if you have like a Rumble who can like lock them into the pit, and then you like have a huge AoE ultimates, I mean, obviously go for that. But if you're like playing Rengar and you see they're taking like second dragon, obviously don't worry about it. If there's like 3 people on it and you're alone, don't try and go steal it or anything. And I mean, there's very few champs that you can really steal on. Like Lee Sin would be one of them, or like, I don't know, Nidalee. But honestly, it's really not that worth it. It's really, really not that worth it. And fifth thing, and the final thing I'm going to be talking about today, is Baron is really important. Early Barons are actually quite doable. So if you can get this ties into getting your bot lane rolling, because if you can get your bot lane rolling, then they can roam, and then you guys can do a really early Baron. Now you see this in LCS a lot, and it's like, why do they do that? Why are they taking a Baron so early? It's usually a late game thing. And honestly, if you can get an early Baron buff, and then you can have your top laner go, and you have everyone mid lane, and maybe somebody bot lane if like you want somebody to split push, and it's just huge waves of just these fucking minions that you absolutely cannot kill, and then they just fucking go and wreck their bases. And honestly, just take the towers. Towers give global gold, and it's 100 gold, and then if you take it, it's like 200 something gold for you, plus the 100 gold, so it's like 300 gold for you, and then 100 gold for everyone else. So honestly, it's so good. Early Barons, if you could pull it off, like if you have a good team comp to be able to do it, not like a bunch of squishies, if you have like a couple of like super like hard carry tanks like Sion or Maokai or Udyr, stuff like that. If you can do it, it's a really good thing to do. So that's what I recommend. That's just my like, I don't know, list of 5 things that like you need to do for jungling. And it's just from experience, just from going through silver, going now finishing out gold. And obviously I'm not the best person to ask. Like, if you can probably watch videos from, I don't know, challenger junglers like Meteos, Panzer Dragon, stuff like that. But this is just from my experience in S6. So thank you guys for watching till the end of this episode. Sorry I sound bad. I'm pretty sick, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take some of these tips into ranked and don't troll my promos, please. All right, I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.